Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of our Embrace Winter series. I really hope that this series has been a tool for you this winter to begin to develop some new skills and look forward to this time of year as a planning season and a time where you are able to grow yourself and your family with some of these subjects that we're talking about. So in our last episode, we taught all about how to make a very simple bread dough recipe. And maybe you already have this skill mastered and you are working on something totally different, and that is fine. But I hope that if it is something you haven't tried, that you will at least try this skill. So in order to have good bread, I feel like there is a second thing that is really important, and that is some yummy butter to go with it. So I will always remember the very first time that I made homemade butter. I felt like it was the greatest science experiment I had ever done. I had watched some videos on it, and the first time that I took cream and actually turned it into butter, it just was the coolest thing to me. I feel like it's one of those old-fashioned skills that people don't really even think about trying. I mean, who makes their own butter unless they have their own cow, right? But what I want to encourage you with today is the fact that you don't even have to live on a homestead or a farm, let alone have your own cow, to try making your own butter. And you may just love it so much that it's something you do all the time. So here on our homestead, one of our goals in the future is to be able to milk enough of our Nigerian dwarf dairy goats to actually separate their cream and be able to make our own butter on a regular basis. Right now, it is just something that I do sporadically by purchasing cream from a local dairy. But down the road, hopefully it's something that we are able to add to another one of those things that is self-sustaining for us with having our own milk and our own cream. But like I shared with you, I want you to understand that even if you live in an apartment in a city and you have that desire to try some of these old-fashioned skills, you can go right to your local grocery store, buy a quart of heavy cream, and try your own butter. It is literally that simple. So all you need to do this is your cream, which I am able to purchase this cream from a local dairy, which is awesome. It's actually raw cream made from A2 milk, which helps for me being a little bit more sensitive to lactose. I'm able to digest this butter really well, which is awesome. And then the second thing you're gonna need is just some salt. I like to use just a natural salt. Those are the only two ingredients that you're gonna need. And then something to whip your butter in. So I like to use this little mini food processor that we have. You can also use a blender, a Vitamix, any of those kind of machines will work great. You just need something to agitate that cream. So whatever you have around your kitchen will totally work in this process. So we are going to walk you through these steps, and then I hope it's something that you will try out on your own. So again, remember through this series, whether it's the butter, the bread, or any skill that you have truly tried to master or just learn how to do through this winter, please share it with us. We get so much joy in knowing the kind of things that you guys are trying out. It inspires us to try new things too. So over on Instagram at Haven Valley Homestead, we are using the hashtag EmbraceWinter2021. Please use that hashtag or tag us and share any of the new things that you're trying. So let's get into some butter making. We're gonna show you how easy this is, and I hope you guys will try this out. So now that we have our food processor plugged in and ready to go, we are just gonna pour in this beautiful raw heavy cream. And I am doing this in just a small food processor, so I am only going to be making a small amount of butter. About a cup of cream at a time is what I like to do. If you're using a blender or a Vitamix, you can easily use a whole pint or quart of cream. So you're just gonna pour it into your food processor, and then we are ready to turn it on and mix it up. All right guys, so the magic is starting to happen. You can see right here through the side that there's chunks starting to form. We've blended it a couple more minutes. This is what you want to look for. You'll actually even hear a change a lot of times in your motor as it gets harder for it to blend up. So here is the amazing surprise, guys. Look at this. We have beautiful butter starting to form and our buttermilk is separating. This is what you want to look for. Sometimes it does take a few minutes to get it to this point. A helpful tip that will help it to turn to butter quicker is let your cream sit at room temperature for an hour before you start the butter process. But this is the end stage, what we are looking for. Okay, so our next step is we are going to take our buttermilk and butter mixture. You want to pour it into a thin strainer so that your buttermilk is pouring through to the bottom and all of your butter will be in the top of the strainer. I'm just going to take out my blade and here is my beautiful butter all left in my strainer. So here is our butter that we are left with. I'm just gonna start to press this together. You've got little individual chunks, and like I said, this was just with a small batch. So this will give you an idea. This is enough for one meal for us of fresh butter to have with our bread tonight. It is about a half of a stick to 3/4 of a stick, just to kind of give you some reference. So what we have left in this bowl is actually our beautiful buttermilk. So you can save this and use this in recipes to make pancakes or biscuits. So amazing. You actually end up with two really cool things out of the butter making process. So the next thing that we are going to do is I have a bowl here with my strainer and we need to get all of that excess buttermilk off of our butter. So we are going to start rinsing our butter with some cool water, and I will just take it and kind of press it, and then I'm actually going to put it in my cold water in just a minute, but I like to start by rinsing it off when it's in my strainer. If you leave the buttermilk on your actual butter, it will not let your butter last as long. So it's really important to get all of that extra buttermilk out of your butter by putting it in the cold water. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of cold water in with my butter, and then you just kind of start kneading your butter. This is gonna press out any of that buttermilk. You're rinsing it off good in that cold water. Like I said, this will help your butter to keep a little bit longer. So now that we have our beautiful pat of butter, I'm gonna just take a little bit of natural salt and put it over top of my butter, and then I just take my wooden spoon, kind of work that into my butter so that it is lightly salted. You almost are kind of kneading your butter, just like you knead bread. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt on this side, and then just gently work that salt into your butter. Now I like to take my wooden spoon and just begin to form my butter into a nice shape that I can use to store it if I'm gonna put it in a container or wrap it up in some saran wrap just in a nice little pad of butter. So look at that beautiful color. Again, a lot of this has to do with the fact that we use the raw cream. You may not get quite as bright of a yellow color if you are making it with just heavy whipping cream. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed learning how to make butter today. Like I said, it is a simple, easy process, and I cannot wait to have this tonight. It is just so fun to be able to serve something so fresh. And like I said, it's just one of those fun, old-fashioned skills. It may be something that you need to know in the future to be able to make your own butter, or if you do live on a farm or homestead and plan to ever have your own milk, goats, or cow, you may want to be able to make your own butter. And like I said, if you are not on a homestead or a farm, go grab some whipping cream at your local grocery store and try this out. You will feel like you are back in the Little House in the Prairie days, and it's just so rewarding to be able to try something and learn something new. So Please share with us if you guys try out this butter recipe or have it with your fresh homemade bread. We would love to see your recipe and your ideas that you may use it for as you are trying it out. So thank you guys again for tuning into this episode. We've got one more kitchen episode coming for you next week. And as I shared at the beginning, whatever your skills are that you are working on in this Embrace Winter series, if it has nothing to do with the kitchen, I just want to encourage you. Don't give up. Keep working hard on them. Take little baby steps. Use that worksheet that we shared in our very first episode to help you just lay out your ideas and your plans of action. And again, please share with us and reach out if you have any questions. We really hope that this is challenging you to just embrace this season of winter. I know it is helping me personally, it is helping my family, and I will be thrilled if even just a few of you are encouraged by this winter. So have a wonderful day, guys. Make sure you subscribe below so you don't miss any of our future episodes. Thank you so much for joining us.